Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing chess with Blaze. This is a romance. There is murder involved, and political intrigue, and nobles. Did I always say romance? I forgot. I've tried recording this video so many times. So let's just start. Hey, calm down. My hair is perfect. It has to be. I spent 4 hours grooming myself earlier. Oh gods help me. Now is it the time to get stage fright? Come on, pull yourself together.
I take great pleasure in presenting our next guest.
Straighten up, look presentable, smile.
The sole heir of our beloved Lord and Lady Varison.
Deep breaths, deep breaths. Here it comes.
Rivian Varison.
Damn it. I bet they're going to laugh at my hair. Well, go on already, laugh. Stupid, bloody, puffed up nobles.
Oh, he's so cute.
Why can't you be an upstanding son like that? You're a shame to this family.
What a charming young man. You must introduce yourself to him after this, Violetta.
I would. The voice acting team must be very small, which is understandable, but is that a guy? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I'm not even judging, I'm just curious because that's what it sounds like to me.
He's Varison's boy. I should speak with him later.
He sounds like he's plotting so hard. Like, he's really like, oh, let me speak with him later, and then, like, get him off in the corner, like shank him or something. That's just what it sounds like to me. Smile, smile, pretend you want to be here. Oh no, this is bad. Where do I go now that I'm here? There's no protocol for this, is there? I just want to go home.
Sir, I have been requested to bring you upstairs when you arrive.
A sharply dressed man, a servant, suddenly approaches my side, bending forward slightly in a bow.
Are you sure you have the right person?
Yes, sir. You are Sir Rivian, are you not?
I give him a suspicious nod. Am I about to be wheedled into some marriage proposal?
Excellent. This way, sir.
Right.
This is new. Everything after this, after his talk with the butler, is new, and hopefully the actual footage had not frozen again. I fall into step behind the well-dressed servant, gazing all around me as I go. It's even more spectacular than I thought it'd be. So many people in so many lavish outfits. The cost of that woman's dress probably outweighs our whole kingdom's treasury. Also, is it just my imagination, or are people staring at me? I mean, dude, you have purple eyes. That shit's unusual. And, I mean, it's not unusual because this is an anime. But, well, I don't know. An anime style visual novel. So no, it's not unusual that the main character has a ridiculous eye color. I just don't like purple, right, guys? Is my hair that bad? I really thought I had done it properly. He probably going up to meet like the king or something. Just.
Come introduce yourself later, darling.
He don't want you, girl. Look at his sprite. Did his sprite change, or was it always looking so just like you just ruined his whole day? Thanks, but I'll have to pass.
Here we are, sir.
The servant stops after we ascend the stairs leading to the overlooking balcony, turning around to face me with another bow.
I appreciate it, but, why did you take me here again?
Okay, his fight is changing. As the butler opens his mouth to reply.
Riv! Over here!
Is that whose voice I think it is? Is it the first love interest? I'm sorry. No, that's impossible. I can't even finish this. No, that's impossible.
The gentleman who requested you is over there, sir. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.
After his concisely polite words, the servant turns and elegantly descends the staircase once more. But before I can turn back around, a firm tug pulls at my arm.
Rivian! I know you remember me. It's only been 4 years.
The familiar face of an energetic young man appears in front of me.
Oh, I remember you all right, Arden.
He don't like you, you know it.
Can't you look a little happier to see your old friend? You have the expression of a man at a funeral, not at a dance.
With a sulky frown, he nudges my shoulder with a hand. I've forgotten that this man doesn't know the phrase personal space.
How did you know I'd be here? No. More importantly, why are you here? Weren't you serving in the king's army?
I was, yes, until I was promoted to serving in his royal guard.
His over-enthusiasm incites in me a strong desire to punch him. You only get the job because your father is a duke, you bastard.
I'm so proud of you. Shouldn't you be on duty rather than frolicking around then?
He doesn't need his whole force for a week-long retreat, you know. I was given permission to attend as a guest.
Oh, shocker. I really don't like him just because the main character doesn't like him. Oh, right. I forgot that this damn celebration lasts 5 whole days. How am I going to make it back alive?
Did Lord and Lady Varison not come with you? You look a little lost and alone.
Piss off! I'm just not used to being around so many noisy people at once, that's all.
The last thing I want him to know is that it's the first grand event I've attended by myself. I'd never hear the end of his ridiculous teasing.
Going back to my previous question, how on earth did you know that I'd be coming to the party?
You're the new center of attention, that's why. Everyone loved and respected your father so much when he worked as the king's chief general and strategist. It's only natural his newly marriageable son catches the public eye.
He winks and gives me a pointed nudge. It's people like you who make me want to wear spikes on my clothing, Arden. Dang, he really don't like this man. What did Arden do? Like, I'm so curious now. What did he do to inspire such hatred? I mean, besides, like, undeserved promotions and things like that. But, I mean, we've all been there, right? Yes, probably. As we talk, I notice the crowd is starting to gravitate towards the large ballroom doors in the main floor below. I guess it means it's about time for that. What is that? Ugh. The thought makes me feel slightly nauseated. In that case, I should extract myself before I get dragged into anything.
Well, there'll be plenty of time for us to catch up later. In the meantime, where are they keeping the wine?
Asking the important questions.
Ah, well, it's over by the terrace doors. But the dancing's about to start, you know. Aren't you coming?
Take a hint, Arden, please. Dancing? How horrific. Maybe some other time. But that would imply that I wanted to dance with him, but I just don't want to dance right now. So I'm gonna choose the second one because I am rude. Apparently, like I don't know. Like I normally have such a hard time being mean to characters in games, but I'm gonna go with the protagonist's feelings on this. Obviously, he knows something I don't, and this guy is not worth it. So, ignoring Arden's eager gaze, I shudder and quickly shake my head. There's one thing right now I absolutely do not want to do, and that's prancing around in the damn ballroom.
No, I need to be thoroughly inebriated before I can even tolerate the idea of dancing, you see. I wish you the best of luck, though. Tear up that ballroom floor in my honor.
Riv, wait!
He don't want to spend time with you, Arden, dang. Before he can grab a hold of my arm again, I quickly retreat and make a beeline for the wine table. But I soon get immersed in the crowd, heading in the opposite direction, and a sea of lacy dresses surrounds me in a fury of fluttering. Bloody hell, how can there be so many people in one place?
Yoo-hoo! Come dance with me, darling.
No! No, leave me alone.
I already have a date, sorry. Sorry.
Okay, somehow I managed to evade the overly aggressive woman from earlier, her lips twisting into a sour pout after I hastily declined. The crowd thins out as most of them head down this grand staircases, and I finally worm my way over to the terrace doors.
Phew.
You see, they find some wine nibbits. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be at home right now, curled in my warm bed with a book. I still can't believe Father and Mother sent me all the way out here by myself. They know I don't do well at parties, so they sent me to a 5-night extravaganza of extravagance. A bit redundant. Cruel, cruel parents.
At least you're here for me, my sweet Ambrosia.
The wine gonna be bad, probably. Sighing gratefully, I pick up a glass that's already filled with dark red liquid. I was never allowed to drink much when I attended balls with my family, so I'll be damned if I don't make the most of this. But some people gonna be dying. You probably wanna be sober. Just saying. The grand celebration of the king's birthday. Almost a full week of parties, dancing, games. I even heard there's a festival. Out here in the mountains, the royal family's retreat is more of a miniature town than anything. There's shops, market stalls, temporary houses, and a jousting arena, all set up for this occasion alone. Why did that word give me such problems? And of course, there's the picturesque castle we're in right now. Only a fraction of the size of the actual castle in the capital city, but still magnificent. That looks like the oil painting filter that you could get like over like an actual photo. Still, it took 5 days to travel here by carriage. Why the hell did it have to be so remote? I feel like I'm in some kind of secluded prison or something, even if it's an admittedly lavish one.
What have I gotten myself into?
Taking a long drink of my saving grace, I head over to the balcony railing to gaze down at the empty floor below. It looks a lot different now that almost all of the guests have gone into the ballroom. I can hear the muffled sound of music from behind the ground doors. I think I'll just make myself inconspicuous until we're shown to our rooms, and maybe just hide under the covers for the next few days. Is someone whispering? I turn my head sharply to search for the source of the noise, but I can't see anyone. In case the game volume is too low, because I don't know. Like, I know I can't hear everything. And there was some whispering. You didn't need to ask yourself, you know what whispering sounds like. The problem comes from if that whispering is not attached to a person, and like, then you should leave. That should be your only concern. Are they on the terrace? I wheel around in an attempt to catch the whisperers off guard, but no one's there. Probably just some young couple exchanging dirty lines under their breath. I wish they weren't acting so eerily stealthy about it, though.
Is something the matter, sir?
Is that Butler again?
Gah!
Knew it. Why do I think he's in on it? Cause I don't believe in coincidences in games. I'm just saying. The servant suddenly standing beside me again. Speaking of eerily stealthy, how did he sneak up like that?
No, nothing's the matter. Just enjoying some private time with my beau.
But you're standing there alone. That's a very weak excuse. You don't have to lie to the butler. Come on. Like, he probably already knows who came with who's sneaking off with who. Like, the servant's probably telling everybody business. You don't need to lie. Oh, he's talking about his freaking wine. This bitch. I motion to my wine and offer a firm nod.
I see. May I ask if you managed to meet with Sir Arden? He was very excited about seeing you.
I forgot for a moment that this is voice acted because I'm used to having to read everything when I play a visual novel.
Yes, I met up with him, all right.
If I may be so bold, you do not seem overly thrilled with the prospect of his company.
Pursing my lips hesitantly, I tap a fingernail against the glass in my hand.
It's a little more complicated than that, but I don't particularly want to discuss the details.
What if Arden's an ex? Like, I don't know.
Of course, I apologize for intruding on your private affairs. However, Sir Arden pulled me aside again and requested you join him in the ballroom.
Let this man leave me alone. No, sir, no.
Well, I'm not joining him in the damn ballroom. He can find someone else to bother.
Thank you, Rivian. Please tell him. You had to be that rude to the butler, though. Be rude to Arden. The vehemency of my reply makes the servant blink in surprise, and I immediately feel a little sheepish for my outburst.
Well, His Majesty at least would not wish you to dance if you did not want to. I am certain.
Why do I feel like that's the king? Like, is that coming out of left field for anybody else? Like, did anybody else get that feeling too? Because, like, would I just say butler instead of having the question marks for a character that's going to be named later on? I think he's king. Okay, I clear my throat, nodding a little awkwardly in reply.
How long does the dance last, out of curiosity?
Well, this is already the second dance of the night, my lord. His Majesty enjoys letting his noble guests have time to mingle and refresh themselves in between. The schedule of festivities for the remaining days shall be announced after this dance, I believe.
The schedule, huh? I suppose I should be present to hear that at least.
My musings are rewarded with a nod of agreement by the servant.
What's your name, anyway? This is already the second time I've seen you, and I'm sure it won't be the last time if I'm here for 5 days.
He's he's like getting those words out was just like looking a little pleasantly surprised at my question. The man tilts his head slightly.
Guests do not usually inquire after the names of servants, but I am called Silas, sir.
He the king, he's in on the murder that's happening. Something important about Silas. I'm just saying.
Well, Silas, any way I might be able to convince you to lead me to my room after the schedule announcement?
I offer him my most winning smile.
No, I didn't mean anything like that. I just wanted to turn any...
See, I was gonna say, Why did he say it so weird? It's gonna sound like he's trying to sleep with this man. And I didn't know they were gonna. Of course, they were gonna make something out of it. Of course.
Well, regardless of your intentions, sir, I am not supposed to leave the main hall until instructed.
Fine.
Can you give me a map? Dang. You never fail to impress with your social skills, Rivian. Like a greased elephant skating on ice.
Silas!
Oh boy, who's this? Before I can skulk away to the ballroom to hide my shame, a high-pitched voice suddenly peals in the air. A moment later, a little girl comes running up beside Silas. She's probably not older than 10 and cute as a button, but I can tell from her outfit that she's not a nobleman's child. Something about her reminds me of someone, but I can't put my finger on who.
Hello, Hazel. Is something the matter?
I don't like staying in the kitchens by myself. It's so dark, and I always feel like someone's watching me.
She's Scottish. That made it be. I may have just jumped to that conclusion because I'm also watching someone play a game with a Scottish character and she sounded slightly like her. So, clinging onto Silas's sleeve, she turns her large eyes in my direction.
I can't blame you. Ever since I almost caught on fire during a visit to our Mana's cook, I never liked kitchens either.
What the hell? You almost catch on fire. You throw yourself into the fireplace? She giggles a little, walking on her toes. Well, at least I can make conversation with little girls. Wait, that's not something to be proud of.
I'm afraid I have to stay here, Hazel. Wasn't your mother supposed to be there with you?
She said she had to leave for a little while, but I had to stay put in the kitchen.
I'm literally like suspecting everybody until the full game comes out. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm pre-recording this video, so by the time it comes out, sometime in September, this full game should come out. So until I'm done with the full game and not just playing through the demo, I'm doubting everybody. Like, nobody is above suspicion. Like, I might actually start suspecting Rivian at some point. You never know.
I want to go see the pretty ladies and gentlemen dancing.
I wish I can be as enthusiastic as you about it.
Hazel pleadingly pulls at Silas's arm, staring up at him. He grimaces, probably being torn in half by the puppy dog eyes and his sense of duty.
I'm very sorry, but the young gentleman here is free to enter the ballroom, you know. He might be willing to take you.
Oh, you conniving bastard. Oh, God. The hint of a smirk on his lips make me wonder if he hadn't planned this from the start.
Really? Would you take me, sir?
No. Do I get an option? Well, I'd rather not become a permanent villain in this child's mind. So I guess there's no helping it. I guess that makes one of us. Shooting a venomous glare at Silas's beaming face, I shove my half-empty glass at him to hold, grab Hazel's hand, and stalk glumly towards the stairs. The little girl goes quiet, but her sparkling eyes are full of eagerness. We head down to the lower floor, and I lead Hazel over to the huge ballroom doors. From inside, the sound of a fast-paced waltz mingled with many footsteps and peals of laughter reaches my ears.
Let's just take a little peek, okay?
Hazel enthusiastically nods in reply, so I reach out to pull open one of the doors slightly. Is Arden gonna come out? Okay. The dazzling shimmer of numerous whirling dresses first greets my eyes, all but blind me. A sea of colorful, elegant figures swirls across the gleaming floor, waltzing in time with the upbeat music. The light from the chandelier sparkles and glimmers, and moonbeams faintly streaming from the windows on the side. I can't help but watch the guests' graceful movements for a few moments, admiring both the statuesque men and the beautifully clad women. They make it look awfully pretty, I have to say. I suppose dancing isn't a bad thing to spectate. Still, there's no way I'd ever enjoy being out there on the floor.
Have you ever danced before, Hazel?
Still watching through the wide crack in the door, I wait for the expected eager reply.
Hazel?
She went in, didn't she? She's gone. That little brat. She'll get in trouble if I don't find her. Okay, so I personally want to go with the first one. I don't feel like he obviously doesn't dislike children, so I'm going to choose the second one. While my first instinct is to be annoyed, I admit I'm a bit worried about what had happened to the girl if she's found somewhere she's not supposed to be. That's true, she could end up like being, I don't know how dark this visual novel would get concerning this like servant punishment, but yeah. At an official event, a servant's daughter frolicking around in the ballroom is something that would probably warrant punishment for both the girl and her parents. Hazel certainly deserves a stern talking to, but I don't want her to get in trouble. She'd definitely cry. Ugh. I'm getting too soft.
This is the last damn time I ever play babysitter.
Which, if we'd got an option in the first place, I would have turned down. I hastily searched for Silas in the balcony above, but he's nowhere to be seen. Of course he's not. What a bastard of a butler, shoving the responsibility for looking after her on me. Sighing, I reluctantly stepped inside the ballroom, managing to avoid any undue attention by sticking to the corners. More than half the guests are engaged in the lively waltz, with everyone else admiring and chatting from the sides. No Hazel over there. Where on earth did she run off to?
Oh, is that who I think it is? Come to dance with me after all.
Nah, leave me alone. Oh no. This couldn't possibly get any worse. Seriously? Seriously, you gonna say that? Here comes Arden, just because he said it.
No, I'm just here to watch, you see.
She's coming toward me at an alarming speed. Escape route, where the hell can I go?
Excuse me, miss. I have to take him from you for a moment, I'm afraid.
Then I say, just don't ever say what like this couldn't possibly get worse. It will get worse. Just before the woman reaches out to me, a familiar shape steps between us.
Oh, what a shame. Do come back soon.
No, your voice is annoying. I don't know what you look like.
Arden?
Come with me over here for a moment, if you would, my friend.
I'm busy. Baffled but relieved, I let Arden drape his arm around my shoulders and guide me in the direction of a relatively quiet corner. I didn't want to run into him either, but if I had to choose the lesser of two evils, it'd probably be Arden.
Thanks for that, I suppose.
I let out a low mutter while we walk, trying to not sound overly grateful, so Arden doesn't take it as a cue to latch onto me more.
I did warn you, didn't I? Your being of marriageable age means you're bound to catch the eye of girls like that. But, more importantly, Did you finally change your mind and decide to come dance?
Don't spout drivel, Arden. I'm looking for a little girl.
When we reach the corner, Arden pauses, casting me a curious and maybe slightly suspicious glance.
Little girl? Do you have a cousin or something I don't know about?
It's complicated. Either way, I'm guessing you haven't seen her.
It's not really that complicated. Arden shakes his head and I let out a sigh. Well, it's not my problem, I guess. Hazel probably knows her way around here better than I do anyway.
You have good timing, though. I think the announcement is about to begin.
Well, isn't that nice? Because we didn't want to dance anyway. We just wanted to hear the announcement and go to sleep.
Announcement? Oh, the schedule of festivities?
Nodding, Arden points to the center of the ballroom, where the numerous couples are starting to drift away toward the corners, making way for a fancily dressed man with a scroll in his hands. The music dies down gradually and comes to a stop, and the chatter dies down to quiet whispers. Arden keeps his arm hanging around my shoulders, and I find myself too tired to bother with shooing him off.
Esteemed ladies and gentlemen of the court,
I really hope he keeps this short and sweet.
Probably not. He's gonna go on for a while. I'm calling it now.
Is anything in court affairs ever short and sweet?
it is my pleasure to welcome you to the first day of our gracious Royal Highness's birthday celebration festivities. His Majesty wishes to thank you all for your attendance.
Why can't his royal birthday boy come out and thank us himself?
Is he already dead? I'm just saying.
Tomorrow will mark the beginning of the Spring Festival being held in His Majesty's honor. In the morning, the outdoor stores and shops shall open for you, and games shall be hosted for your enjoyment. The festival shall continue for 3 days. Afterwards, on the 4th and final day of the royal celebration, there shall be a grand masquerade, which all guests are expected to attend.
I don't think you'll be able to get out of dancing in that one, Riv.
His Royal Highness hopes his genteel guests enjoy the rest of their time at the castle estate, and looks forward to joining you in merriment. Now, guests who wish to retire for the night may adjourn to their rooms upstairs. Our gracious maestro has agreed to several more songs for those who would delight in a little more dancing.
As delicate applause fills the ballroom, I quickly pull it away from Arden's grip and clear my throat.
Oh, that's my cue, I'm afraid. Perhaps I'll see you in the morning.
Leaving me? Again? You're so horribly mean.
And you can't take a hint. Abandoning Arden for the second time this evening, I give him a lazy half bow before turning towards the door. I wonder if Silas is the one who's supposed to escort us to our rooms. If so, he's going to get the chewing out he sorely deserves. As some of the other guests and I return to the main hall, however, we're instead attended to by a host of other servants I haven't seen before. Slightly disappointed not to have a chance to punch that butler's face, I follow along as we're led up another staircase to the second floor, where most of the guest accommodations seem to be. Like, this dude needs, like, some conflict resolution skills. Just saying, like, and some impulse control. You can't punch everybody. I'm sorry.
And this room is yours, sir?
My thanks.
In the hallway, a polite young maid opens the door to what are presumably my chambers for the duration of the celebration. She hands me the key before attending to the next guest, so I step inside the room and shut the door behind me with a sigh of relief. Finally. A moment to breathe. I'd forgotten how incredibly exhausting socializing was. The room before me is a cozy one, illuminated by a few candelabras in the auburn flicker of the fireplace. The magnificently sized bed looks more than a little inviting, as do the plush chairs nearby. If I close my eyes and inhale the slightly smoky, dusty scent, I can practically envision myself back home. I wander over to the small doors at the back of the room, peering through the glass. Goodness, I even have a little balcony of my own. I suppose these guest rooms were probably made with spoiled nobility in mind. Pulling the doors open, I step out curiously onto the elegant terrace, gazing up at the clear night sky. The wind ruffles through my hair, and I close my eyes for a moment to enjoy the cool sensation washing over me.
3 days of a festival, and then a masquerade. Huh.
I'm not surprised. As much as I hate to admit it, the festival sounds like it might be rather fun. My parents never felt obliged to take me to any festivals as a little boy, so I always had the sense that I was missing out whenever my friends would talk about them. In that masquerade ball, I certainly wasn't informed I'd need a mask, that's for sure. Thanks, Father. Perhaps I can buy one at the festival. I suppose if I'd have to choose any type of dance to partake in, a masquerade seems like the most interesting. Maybe a mask will even let me hide from Arden and that damned woman. The best of both worlds. Smirking to myself, I idly glance over to my left, hearing a faint shuffling noise. What the? It's an adjoining balcony with the room next to me? And there's someone over there, leaning against a balustrade? How the hell didn't I know this before? That's weird. After my undignified yelp, the shadowy figure on the opposite side of the balcony turned slowly toward me. Never mind, I was already getting like exasperated because I was like, oh my god, how did Arden wheedle his ass into the room next to mine? Okay, with the moonlight illuminating his features, I can identify it as a man, for the slanted shape of his mouth is unmistakably male.
My apologies, sir. I didn't realize we were adjoined neighbors.
Go inside before you make an ass of yourself. Just instead of an immediate reply, the man takes a slow step towards me, crossing the thin connecting walkway between our balconies. Dude, you don't have to come over here. Stay on your balcony.
Really? There's no need to be angry, sir. I promise I wasn't.
Excuse my rudeness.
These areas with me. Oh, yeah, I forgot I have to read that out loud. Okay, the tall, tanned man bows lowly before me, lifting his head with a subtle glimmer in his eyes.
I just had to be sure it was Lord Verison's son I had the privilege of finally meeting.
Is that the same guy from earlier? I don't think so. I don't... Oh, of course. Someone else who only identifies me as my father's son. Oh, get over yourself. You're a nobleman's son. What do you expect? Okay, I straighten up, feeling decidedly less deferential.
Well, you're not mistaken. I prefer to be called Rivian rather than Verison's son, however.
My apologies, Rivian. I already knew your name, but I didn't wish to seem rude by addressing you so coarsely.
Oh, well, I suppose that's all right then.
This man is surprisingly polite. Something about his manner and clothing makes me think he's from a different place. Is he a foreigner?
It must be an act of fate that you were brought to me so swiftly. You are precisely the one I have been looking for.
Dude, back up, he got a knife. Look, his hands in his pocket and everything.
Me? Are you sure you don't mean my father? He's not here if so.
He shakes his head, lips curling into a cryptic smirk. Who exactly is this man? He gives off a much more dangerous air than your average courtier.
I wanted to give you a warning. A hint, if you will. You're sharp, I'm sure, with a man like Lord Verison as your father, so I doubt you'll take long to catch on.
I just realized something. Why is his shirt hanging so low? Like, like he's basically giving us like the cleavage shot, but as a man, why is he doing that? It's so unnecessary. Oh my god, dude.
What the hell are you talking?
What happened? What is going on? I told you to watch yourself. No. Okay, before I can so much as struggle, I found myself abruptly turned about, pinned against a balustrade. Okay, can we just stop using that word because it's not agreeing with me apparently? Because like I've seen it before, never had to pronounce it. Staring down at the long fall to the cliffs below. Why?
You think this long celebration is just for the sake of the king's egoism?
What?
No. It's something far more than that.
Like, who does this bastard think he is? Let's not insult the guy that could probably, throw you off the balcony, maybe? Let's not do that. You might have something worth saying. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, but strangely enough, I don't sense any killing intent from this man. You sure about that, sir? I suppose I can hear him out, just in case there's something important I don't know. Since when did diplomacy become so hands-on, though? For the love of the gods. I glimpsed a pleased smirk on his face when I slowly relaxed in the cage of his arms, a sour grimace curling on my own lips.
You see, the nobility here are not merely those from your own kingdom. Some of these lords and ladies hail from beyond these borders, myself included. And some of them are former citizens or allies of smaller nations whose armies were crushed under your kingdom's fists.
Are we talking about you still?
So, precisely what the hell does that have to do with me?
I mean, a lot. You could get caught up in, like, never mind. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Use your pretty head for a moment, little dove. The man who expertly controlled your forces' movements, who knew through spies everything his enemies would do, who outwitted them at every turn.
Was his father. The stranger's lips aren't far from my ear, and his warm breath tickles lightly against my skin.
That was your father, Rivian.
Oh.
And now his darling son is far from home, in a nest of enemies among friends.
Okay, but can you, back the fuck up? A shiver runs. Why is he doing? Back up. Okay, a shiver runs down my spine as long gloved fingers tighten around my jaw.
I already told you I'm not my father.
Your overshadowing bloodline may be irksome to you, but it is everything to those who hate Lord Verison. And you're so very vulnerable, all alone. If I were one of those enemies, you'd be lying in a picturesque pool of your own blood right now, or smashed into little bitty pieces on those cliffs below. And neither of us want that, do we?
The low, softly threatening tone of his voice makes my fingers tightly curl into fists, and I struggle desperately to not show my growing anxiety.
Quit with your fancy words and tell me what the point of this all is.
He chuckles softly, releasing me from the tight embrace, only to turn me around and press my back against the balustrade, staring down at me with cool, glittering eyes.
Mark my words. Something unpleasant is going to happen very soon within the walls of this fancy resort that all you pretty little nobles are trapped in.
But you said that you're a noble too, so why is everybody acting like they're suddenly, like they're somehow, like, outside, like, they're noble, but like, oh, I'm so different. Like, stop, you're not, please, it's so annoying.
And you, the heir of one of the kingdom's cleverest, most ruthless men, you will find yourself in the middle of it, whether you like it or not.
Thanks. Beads of cold sweat break out on the nape of my neck as those words sink into my skull. This is the absolute worst nightmare I could have imagined. There's no way he could really be telling the truth, right? Like, let's not go down that route.
Whether or not you inherited the sharpness of your father is something we'll all learn by the end of this celebration. Don't you think?
Based on if I make it to my carriage alive on the final day?
The tall stranger seems amused when I grind my teeth angrily, but he gives a nod of confirmation.
I'd like to ask how you know all this, but you're so full of cryptic drivel that I doubt I get a straight answer. So let me ask you instead.
Damn it. I was trying to think of something that sounded cool and collected, but now I'm drawing a blank. The worst that always happens. You're gonna think of something cool that you could have said, like while you're like laying down, going to sleep, and you're like, damn it.
What is your name?
Oh, that was so lame, please. But you could have, if the delivery had been stronger. Me. The man blinks. Well, if I wasn't expecting it, he probably wasn't expecting it either. Soon, though, a pleased expression drifts over his well-chiseled features. I added an extra word there. Lips curling in a wolfish grin.
My name? It's Franz, my little lord. At your service.
You. He reaches out towards my hand, bringing the back of it to his lips. You don't do that. They don't do that with, man. Like, I know it's a yaoi romance, but, like, they just, like, shake hands, right? Whatever. Like, with historical accuracy right now. But I quickly pull away and give his chest a vehement shove, dodging out of his grasp.
You should be the one to fall off the balcony, perverted bastard. I promise you won't be missed.
Huh. Fonz's lips pursed together mockingly, a theatrical sigh making his broad chest rise and fall.
The least you could do is thank me. But I guess the angry kitten act is just your unique way of showing gratitude. I'll be returning to my own room then. Unless you're planning on inviting me inside yours.
I'd sooner invite in one of these purported assassins who want to leave me in a picturesque pool of my own blood.
Snickering, he lifts his shoulders in an innocent shrug, turning to make his way back towards his side of the balcony. Should have stayed over there in the first place, but...
Should you need my help, do seek me out. But remember, I'm only one piece of the puzzle you may need to solve.
His vague words are accompanied by a faint, unreadable glint in his eyes. With that, he shoves his hand in his pocket and gracefully strides over towards his room's door, and I glare at his back until it disappears.
What the hell is happening with this damn place?
The warmth and sensation of Francis' fingers curled around my chin still lingers, making me shudder. More unsettling, though, are the lasting fragments of the words he left behind. I hastily returned inside my own chamber, slamming the balcony door shut and locking them, pulling the curtains over the glass. The last thing I want is to wake up with that crazy, handsy demon of a man staring in at me. Can you imagine, though? My mind feels a little numb as I undress and throw my clothes to one side, crawling into the bed and curling up under the covers. I think that Franz was lying to me just for sport, but I can't really fathom why he wants to do that to someone he doesn't even know. I could probably shake his words off under normal circumstances, but there have been a couple of things bothering me since earlier. That whispering I heard before. For some reason, the fact that I couldn't find a source of it made me feel strangely nervous. Then there's the fact that Hazel slipped off so suddenly. It seems strange that she wouldn't try to coax me to come with her inside the ballroom, unless she wanted to purposely evade me. But why?
And now I'm neighbors with some perverted foreigner.
It's hardly believable, but if he was really telling the truth, then am I actually in danger? But why? Father would have surely known who the other guest could be before he sent me here. He did. In that case, was there a reason why he made me attend alone? Is this a sink or swim coming of age ritual for me? I pull my head from under the covers and gaze glumly up at the ceiling. As much as I hate to admit it, I'd rather risk embarrassing myself by taking Francis' words seriously instead of ignoring him and ending up a bloody splatter. Swallowing, I slip out from the bed to make sure my room's door is locked, pressing my ear to the wood just to see if anyone's lurking outside. But I don't hear anything except the fast beating of my own heart. I give up and return to the plush mattress, crawling back under the sheets.
We're going to have a long talk about this, Father.
If you live. When I make it back home, and I will make it back home, I'll give him a real piece of my mind. Until then, I'll make sure any would-be assassins learn to fear the name of Rivian Verison. Are you not even scared about yourself? What the fuck? Did I just hear something? Okay. I know I heard something. What is that infernal noise? Somebody knocking on your door, duh.
Sir? Sir, are you awake?
Is it Silas? I bolt upright, rubbing at my eyes hastily. That's right. I'm trapped in this capsule of death for a so-called celebration. But more importantly, is that whose voice I think it is? I grab a pillow from the bed and hold it in front of my legs for modesty's sake. Then storm over to the door to unlock and fling it open. You could just put your pants on. It's not like you had to deal with zippers and buttons and stuff like that. Just pull it up and like tie it. I mean, they were even wearing pants at this point because you just had to pull on some tights. Okay.
Sir, I apologize for...
You damned sorry excuse for a butler, or manservant, or whatever the hell you are. You shoved that little girl onto me last night, and she ran off before I could do anything. But I doubt your evil heart gives a damn if she gets 30 lashes for going places she's not supposed to.
My accusation makes Silas blink, his expression more curious than the sheepish one I was expecting.
But sir, the girl was safe and sound back in the kitchens by the time her mother returned. Perhaps she merely wanted a brief glimpse of the splendor, and then went back?
Is that really what she wanted? Well, it's not like it's my business. Still, any first-time nanny would feel bad about losing track of their charge. You're not a nanny? Damn it, I'm a man of noble blood, not a nanny. Thank you.
Well, that's fine then, I suppose. Sorry for yelling at you.
He apologizes a lot. Silas offers me a slight smile, shaking his head with a gentle wave of his hand.
There is no need to apologize, sir. I stopped by just to inform you that the festival has started. The first day is often the best, they say, and I would not wish for you to miss out. However, I humbly recommend that you attend the event in more than a pillow. The lady should surely appreciate it, but it would be most cold.
I don't need you to tell me that, you know. Go on, go and attend to your butler duties.
I shoo him off with my non-pillow holding hand, my face burning a little as I slam the door and I retreat back into my room.
Damn right the ladies would appreciate it. Probably that creepy fellow from last night too.
In Arden. Like this, just... Tossing the pillow aside, I set about dressing myself, muttering all the while. Well, even if there is some kind of foreign death warrant on my head, I'm fairly sure I'll be quite safe in broad daylight. But what if that's what they want me to think? What if broad daylight is actually when I'm in the most danger? An assassin could blend into the crowd easily. No, perhaps I'm just getting a little paranoid. I just have to become one with my xenophobia and stay away from anyone with an accent or unusual features. That should do the trick, unless the assassins come from your own country.
But chocolates from Privia are just so superb, and the cakes from the Cotarian capital are to die for.
Okay, I can, yeah. Also, foreigners tend to have a lot more interesting stories to tell. I'm hopeless. I'm sorry I can't be a Raven nationalist like you, Father. After I finish getting ready, I head back over to the door and slip out into the hallway. Was that my stomach? I didn't hear anything. Alright. I suppose I haven't eaten since my snack during the carriage ride last evening. Well, I'm sure they have food in the festival stalls. I wound my way through the corridors and trod down the stairs, returning to the main hall while keeping my eyes peeled for any would-be attackers. It seems like most of the guests have already gone outside, although a few are still milling about in this ridiculously huge foyer. I stay on careful alert for that demonic woman too, whose threat rivals any assassin. As I sauntered towards the doors, I noticed a man with long dark hair leaning by the grand entrance, intently reading a long paper scroll. As in, very intently. He looks about as focused on that paper as a starving dog with a bone. My curiosity runs out over my refined upbringing, and I quietly approach behind him to try and sneak a glimpse at whatever's on the scroll. He could have just asked. But he's like, what the fuck, dude? Before I can so much as catch a word, he abruptly spins to face me. People who read the public, they look like they focus. I just say it may look like we're focused on what we notice if someone's getting like just into our personal space to like read over our shoulder. As someone who does not like people reading over my shoulder, yes, I'm like hyper aware of that, and it's annoying. A pair of hawk-like eyes behind angular glasses flick down to bare holes through my face.
I was just going to pick some lint off your shoulder, you see.
Why does he keep lying? It's so stupid and it sounds so lame.
Is that so?
I don't think I've been given such an icy glare since I told my mother she looked fat in one of her dresses.
Yes, headed out to the festival and all that. Just spotted something on that coat of yours. Didn't want to embarrass you.
My, how remarkably thoughtful you are. I don't suppose you're one of the servants trying to masquerade as a nobleman.
Is he gonna be a rival?
What, you mean you don't recognize me?
He rolls his eyes at me, the bridge of his glasses with a light snort.
I am a busy man. Why would I bother learning the name of someone who goes around picking lint off of people?
I wince. This fellow really doesn't pull his punches. I guess I've been spoiled from all this random attention. There's no way everyone would know my face just because I've been seen around with my old man.
I'm Rivian. Varison, that is.
The only response I get is an impassive stare. Is this gonna be like with Eliza where she's like, oh, the knight the knight hates all women, so I want to win him over. Is it gonna be like that?
I said I'm, oh for hell's sake, the son of the old military strategist.
Ah, that Varison.
Is there another one? Yeah, at my clarification, his eyes finally light up in recognition. Is there really more than one Varison? He's definitely mocking me.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I would have let you pick lint off of me to your heart's content.
Can you stop with the lint business? I was fibbing, if you must know.
Really? You could have fooled me. If I was 5 years old, perhaps. However, regardless of how pitiful a liar you may be, His Majesty informed me to thank you for your attendance at the festivities and sends your father his regards.
Is he like the royal scribe or something?
His Majesty? Wait, the king told you that directly?
Of course. You seem surprised that the Grand Inquisitor would have contact with his employer.
I blink. What is the Inquisitor? The head of domestic investigations doing at a royal celebration. Maybe it has to do with what you got told last night, you moron.
I know what your unsophisticated mind is thinking. Why is the head of domestic investigations at a royal celebration? Well, my occupation requires me to be present at such important events.
You're annoying. Can I start talking to you? So, well, I can see how you got his job.
The Grand Inquisitor, Linnaeus, was it?
That's correct. I see you store some useful information in that blonde, nearly empty head of yours.
Guys, talk about unpleasant. Did snooping over his shoulder really warrant this kind of treatment? Clearly, the king tolerates him for qualities other than his horrible personality.
Just out of curiosity, did His Majesty tell you to thank every guest like that, or just me?
His nose wrinkles disparagingly at my question, upper lip curling, no doubt in preparation to offer some kind of caustic response.
Many guests are given honorific greetings, but for some unfathomable reason, he asked me specifically to address you.
He sounds slightly confused, which is admittedly understandable.
I see.
Okay, bye. Okay, for some reason, a strange sense of apprehension flits over me. The king singled out the Grand Inquisitor, one of his highest ranking men, to talk to me. Beyond that, he investigates domestic affairs. That means there's something fishy is going on related to the king or his court. This ponytailed hell beast is on the hunt. I hope he's not been assigned to keep an eye on me or something. This is one man who I would rather not get on the bad side of. I think you're already on his bad side.
Incidentally, do you know how many foreign guests the king invited to this extravagant affair?
Linnaeus raises his eyebrows at my question, then narrows his hawk-like gaze at me.
There are no more than 6, with 4 of those being ambassadors. All of them equally dislikable, if you ask me.
Do you find anyone likable, except for your reflection?
He came in, he went right for the throat. Just didn't hold back.
Perhaps I like you. If you were more like your father and less of a spoiled child.
I'm starting to wonder what the sentence is for punching the Grand Inquisitor. Do you see what I said? Mean he needs impulse control. And I mean, I guess he hasn't punched anyone yet, but he thinks about it a lot. And I guess a lot of people do. But
Ah, your primitive mind is contemplating violence, is it not?
Is it due to mind?
I advise you not to raise a hand against me. Not even the Varison name will save you from the consequences.
Is it due to mind reader? Or was he like, what? With a defeated sigh, I turned to the door with the intent to head off before I end up getting thrown another insult.
Oh, before you head off to cause more trouble.
He hasn't caused trouble to begin with. I reckon he caused more trouble. I begrudgingly cast a glance over my shoulder to see a smirk on the Inquisitor's smug face.
If you see that ridiculous boy, Arden, is it?
Yes.
Tell him he needs to act like a proper guardsman, or I'll make sure he's relieved of his post.
Please do so.
You know Arden? Lovely. What on earth did he do now?
Linnaeus waves his hand dismissively at me. Pulling back out the skull he tucked away when he noticed my presence earlier.
Ask him yourself. I have no further time to entertain your dull questioning.
Very well. I'd pull up a chair for you before I left, but sitting down would surely drive the stick buried deep in your rectum to an uncomfortable depth. Do have a good morning.
Oh, guys, I can feel a murderous glare trained on my back as I hastily make my way out the castle doors, not wanting to suffer the inevitable retaliation that occur if I stuck around. But as the cool breeze hits my face and I enter into the lavish grounds outside, I breathe a sigh of relief. With luck, I'll never have to run into that unpleasant man again, which means you will. More importantly, I can see the bustling festival stalls ahead, and excitement bubbles inside me as I follow the stream of guests heading towards them. I haven't been to a proper festival in years. Maybe I'll have a chance to get some fun souvenirs and actually relax a little. Perhaps this celebration won't be so bad after all. What? They said up to at least 8 hours of gameplay. There was like an hour. Little over an hour. But anyway, in case I didn't say this when I started, because I do not know yet if anything went wrong during this recording, but to get this game maybe coming out soon or not. By the time this video actually goes up, on the Steam page it says available September 2017, but it doesn't have a date. And the full version will have a PG-13 version and an R-rated version. I'm assuming that the demo is PG-13, but it does. You don't really get to do any sort of anything romantic with the character. So I'm assuming that in both versions, the first hour or so is just like you could it's PG-13. I don't know if there'll be any difference, because when I get the full game, I will not be getting the rated R version. So I will not be choosing the rated R option, if that is how they do it instead. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully this worked, and I'll see you guys in the next video.